Ladies and gentlemen, there's only literally a few days to go. Yes, guys, we're nearly there. Arc Raiders is a couple days away from the full launch. I'm super hyped, super excited. I've been waiting for this patiently. So basically what I wanted to do for today's video was showcase you this really good website. It's called Metaforge. I'll put the link to this site in my comment section down below. But I wanted to do a beginner's introduction to the skill tree. Basically, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do personally for the first 15, 16 levels. And this is what I did on the Server Slam. So basically, this isn't going to be, oh, I'm not trying to clickbait you guys into saying this is the best skill tree build ever. None of that rubbish, because to be frank, we don't know what is going to be the best skill tree build right now. That's going to come after, you know, some serious playtime and a lot of testing. So I'm also not going to fill up the whole skill tree, purely because I don't know the exact number of points we're going to get, because we haven't been able to play the full game yet. So I'm going to do the first 16 points because that's how many points I had on the Server Slam. And then obviously you guys and girls can, you know, I would always say test out stuff yourself, because you play different to me, I play different to someone over there, and I predominantly play solo. I enjoy the thrill and the intensity of playing solo in Arc Raiders. So how I build my skill tree is based all around movement. Basically, for me, I want to be able to get around the map, I want to be able to move and stuff like that. So for me, guys, what I'm going to be doing at the beginning is I'm going to be putting 5 points into the first conditioning perk, so used to the weight. Reasoning for that is wearing a shield doesn't slow you down as much. So of course, if I'm not going to be slowed down that much, then obviously I'm going to be able to move more freely, right? Going to be able to duck and dive and roll and try and get away from any of the Arc and any of the real players if I need to. Later on, I may go into some more of these. I'll show you what they are, just so that you know. So you have Blastborn, so your hearing is less affected by nearby explosions. Then we have here Fight or Flight. So when you're hurt in combat, regain a fixed amount of stamina. This is actually pretty good. So you know, you get more stamina, you can get away. And again, this one is also very good because Survivor's stamina, when you're critically hurt, your stamina regens faster. But to obviously unlock these bigger nodes, you need to have 15 points into the conditioning. And early on, I'm not going to be doing that. Then going forward, we have Downed but Determined. So when you're downed, it takes longer before you collapse. So as a solo player, this isn't needed at all. If you're going to be playing in a team, then yeah, obviously that might be useful. While downed, again, you take less damage. For me personally, when I'm playing solo, again, not important. Then we have Back on Your Feet. When you're critically hurt, your health regens until a certain limit. This is a good one. But again, like I said early on, I don't want to be taking all of these because I want to be going into the other stuff that I'm going to show you. Then we have A Little Extra. Breaching an object generates resources. Loaded Arms. Your equipped weapon has less impact on your encumbrance. Again, another good one, but not mandatory for me straight away. Then we have Breaching doors and containers takes less time. This is another good one. And this one, I forgot to mention, you make less noise when you're breaching. So you make less noise and then you also breach doors and containers faster. Then we have Unburden Roll. If your shield breaks, your first dodge roll within a few seconds does not cost stamina. Again, decent one as well. Then we have Melee abilities cost less stamina. You deal more melee damage to the drones. And then this one is when you attack the wasps and the turrets, you can destroy them with one single melee attack. So this again is another good one because obviously you don't want to waste your ammo. And if you can just destroy them with one swing, that's really useful. Now, what I'm going to be going on to next for myself personally at the beginning is Nimble Climber. So I'm going to put 1 point into Nimble Climber. You can climb and you can vault more quickly. Then I'm going to be going over to Slip and Slide because I want to obviously slide further and faster. And then personally, I want to be moving around with obviously less stamina, right? And then you want to have, I want to increase my max stamina, so Youthful Lungs. I'm not going to be worrying about this one straight away. I'm trying to be going to this one. So whilst you're walking, your stamina regens as if you were standing still. So this is going to be huge, guys. So what I'm going to be doing, but again, you need obviously 15 points into this one. So I won't be able to get that straight away. But what I'm going to be prioritizing is the slip and slide personally for myself. So I can slide further and faster, get the max use out of that. Then I'm going to be obviously increasing my stamina. But then this is what I want to do personally. So I want to have less stamina usage basically when I'm moving around, when I'm trying to run around or roam the map, trying to get away from any threats, you know, that I'm trying to face. So that gives me 16 points. Now that is what we had in the server slam. At the end of the server slam, when I got to level 15 and whatnot, I had 16 points used in the skill tree and I couldn't get any more. So that's what I'm going to do early game up to level 15 and 16, for example. That is what my personal tree is going to look like. Again, like I said, I'm doing that because I'm focusing all about movement, trying to get around the map, you know, as quickly as possible, using as less stamina as possible. So what I will do then obviously is put more the final point into that. Then I'll go into increasing my stamina, and then I'll have 15 points in mobility. So then I'll be taking the calming stroll. Then we have, going forward, you can leap further. You can, when you're falling, your timing window to perform a recovery roll gets increased. Then this one lets you jump at the end of a vault. Now, I'm not going to be worried too much about that. Again, it all depends on how many points we get, you know, at end game basically. Then we have this one. When you're downed, you can crawl faster. Again, for me, not that important. This one here, vaulting is no longer slowed down whilst you're exhausted. Pretty decent. Then this one here, vaulting no longer costs stamina. So this is a good one. And then we have on this one, your dodge rolls cost less stamina. And then you can sprint, dodge roll further, basically. So again, I'm not too sure as we get further into the end game how much of these I'll take. But obviously what I will do is when we get to end game and we've tested loads of stuff, I will make a revised video and let you guys and girls know what my end game skill tree looks like. But other than that, I'm going to be going through that, like I said, the calming stroll. Then I'm going to be moving over to the survival tree. This one here gives you movement speed whilst you're crouched. You can increase that. Then we have stamina regen whilst you're crouched. So again, I always want these ones. So I'm going to be taking this one. Then we have here in-round crafting. So this unlocks the ability to field craft items whilst you're topside. This is pretty good. I did try this in the tech test 2. Not tech test 2, sorry. I didn't need to try this in tech test 2, sorry, because this wasn't a thing then. In the server slam, I tried this briefly. And it was nice to be able to craft bandages and stuff like that. But you don't get much choice on the first node of crafting. But then we have here, obviously when you're looting, it gets revealed faster, which is pretty good. Less noise again. And then when you're critically hurt, your movement makes less noise. So this tree is all about obviously trying to survive, hence the name survival. So you're making less noise, you're being able to loot things quicker. So that's cool. Then we have broad shoulders. It increases the maximum weight you can carry. Then going forward, we have looter's luck. So whilst looting, there is a chance to reveal twice as many items at once. And then the final one up here is it lets you breach security lockers. Then we have here, this is what I meant. So the second node of the crafting one is a lot better because it unlocks additional items to field craft. So you get more choice. Then good as new is whilst under a healing effect, your stamina regen gets increased. Again, good for me. I like stamina regen. That's a must. Then we have here, your stamina regen is less affected by being over cucumbered. So again, more stamina, less stamina being used, should I say. Then 3 deep breaths. After an ability drains your stamina, you can recover more quickly. Then we have on the final one here, Minesweeper. Mines and explosive deployables can be defused when you're in close proximity. So again, I probably won't go for these. I'm going to be taking mostly, like I said, all of the stamina ones. But again, like I said, I need to get to end game. I need to be able to play, test it out a lot. Of course, you might prefer having more of the conditioning tree, or you might be more of the survival side, or you might choose to go for like a overall balanced approach where you're going to put a decent amount of points into all three of these trees, which, to be fair, if you're new to this game, I would probably recommend doing more of a balanced approach, sort of trying to have bits and bobs from all three of these trees. And then as you feel more comfortable with the game and your play style is more dialed in, then obviously you can dive deeper into specific nodes, right? But just remember, these are basically just passives at the end of the day. Of course they help you, but if you're not dialed in and you're not aiming, you're not got your aiming dialed in and your game sense dialed in, these aren't going to save your life, right? These aren't going to get you the kills. So don't worry too much about this. It's a nice thing to have. It's a cool thing to be able to mess around with and have different play styles, but it's not the be all and end all. So yeah. But anyway, guys, that's what I wanted to talk about really today, was showcase you this really good website here. It has loadouts, skill trees. There's a database here as well, where you can look at all sorts of information about the arcs, the items, the quests and stuff like that. So I would recommend checking it out. Like I said, we've got a couple of days left to go. Play around with the skill tree, have some fun, and of course get ready for the full release on October the 30th. And I'll see you guys for some more Arc Raiders videos very, very soon. Take care. Have a beautiful day. Peace.